Good morning, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I'm Mrs. Rodriguez. I'm the special education teacher here at your child's elementary school. Today, I want to walk you through the evaluation process that we will follow to better understand how we can support Keisha's learning needs academically here at school. As we know, Keisha just recently joined our school at our school district, and she is doing wonderful in reading and writing. Her writing is grade level work. She actually does really well. She does enjoy going to the library and reading books. Some of her favorite reading books are fairy tales, so she's really enjoying that and she's excelling in that. But some things that we have noticed that she might be struggling with is math. And even though we've had different strategies on how we can try and teach her and approach the situations in different ways and give her different learning tools, she just isn't meeting her grade level math expectations. Some strategies that we've used with Keisha is chunking the math information, so going problem by problem or instruction or step by step. We've even done some one-on-one aid help, and we're not seeing the results that we were hoping to see. And because of this, we want to evaluate her to understand her unique learning style and see if she may benefit from special education services. I know when a parent hears special education services, we often get really scared. We get, maybe even embarrassed, or maybe just very confused on what that looks like, what it might look like for Keisha's future. Will it affect her in any way? So I'm going to take the time to break down what the process is and what it might look like in Keisha's case. So first thing I want to discuss is the evaluation process and what that might look like. So we might be doing some different assessments in different areas, including but not just those. We might try to do something else to make sure we get the best data that we can. So one thing would be, giving some assessments in academic skills, really gearing towards math. Cognitive abilities that relate to her learning styles and her learning skills. So her social and emotional functioning, that might just be she needs to be in a quiet room just working one-on-one with maybe an RSP teacher for math. And then some other areas that might affect her school performances. So we will review all of the data that we get from those assessments. We'll also be pulling data from her previous school that she went to prior to coming to here. We'll also go over some classroom observations. So, either our school psychologist or I myself, the special education teacher, may step into her general education class to kind of observe and see what the general education teacher is seeing and how she's participating, or if she's participating in the class, and what kind of quality of work she's turning in, and understand what interventions have been tried in the general education class and what interventions we might want to try. So first things first, the first thing that has to get done prior to, in the process of the evaluation, we would need parent consent. So we will ask you for written permission stating that you give us permission, so myself, the special education teacher, the school psychologist, to perform assessments on Keisha. And then this is just ensuring you are fully informed and agree to the process. After that is signed and we have consent from you, the MET team, which is, includes her general education teachers, the school psychologist, the special education teacher, myself. Will plan to meet and discuss what assessments might be needed and what will give us the best data. Once the team has decided on which assessments we would like to give Keisha, we'll make sure that they're fair and appropriate for her background and language. After all of the assessments that have been given, we'll make sure that we, obviously get a raw score from all of those, and then we'll review all of that data. We'll look carefully at how Keisha has responded to the interventions in the classroom and during tutoring and during the assessments. Once all the information is gathered, we will then get in contact with you. So myself, the school psychologist, possibly another general education teacher, including yourself, will all meet again, and then we'll present the data to you and review the results and decide if Keisha qualifies for special education services. Right off the bat, just because, and I'm not saying that this is the definite answer or this is definitely how she will qualify, but from reviewing what I see now, there is a strong possibility. If she does qualify, it may be under specific learning disability, and it'll be because of math. You are probably wondering, how long does this whole process take to finally figure out if Keisha does qualify for special education services? So as soon as you sign the consent forms and giving us permission to assess your daughter, we now have 60 calendar days to get her assessed, and then get all of the information together, get all the data together, and then present you with the results. So it does take a while because some assessments are long, and we do want to give Keisha breaks in between assessments, just so she isn't bombarded and overwhelmed. And just sometimes when you're testing too much, some of the students don't perform as well as we want them to. Like I said, it may take, we are allotted the 60 days, but it might be over sooner. But once we've reviewed the data with you and Keisha is found and determined that she is eligible for special education services, we will work together to develop an IEP, an individualized education plan, that will outline her educational goals and the supports that she needs in the general education classroom to succeed. So, like I said, possibly she may qualify under a specific learning disability, and we could create a math goal. And some of her accommodations could be that she sits closer to a teacher, she is provided extra time to finish assignments, she's allowed to use a calculator, she's given a multiplication chart, in order to get the material that is being presented to her. There may be a strong possibility that she qualifies for an RSP classroom, where the RSP teacher, such as myself or maybe some others RSP teacher, will pull her out of her general education class, and take her to the RSP room, where she is able to get additional resources and additional support, to work on the math goal, or to, just kind of freshen up and really understand the material that's being presented to her in the general education classroom. And throughout this whole process, you as parents and guardians have procedural safeguards. You have important rights called procedural safeguards, which protect you and Keisha's interest. We will provide you with these and explain them into detail. It is a large packet. Don't be overwhelmed. It's just, a law basically saying, we are not allowed to give. For an example, some things that are in the procedural safeguards, us, the school, can never make a change in your child's schedule without notifying you, or we cannot be giving your child an assessment without prior consent, or we can't change anything in the IEP prior to your consent, or we cannot remove, if she is found eligible for special education services, we can't remove those services away from her without your consent. I know all of this sounds super overwhelming and a lot of information all at once. A website that I find very helpful for me as a teacher, and it's very parent friendly, is the Center for Parents Information and Resources. So I'll make sure to write down that website for you so you can visit it at your own time. And another really important website that I think you'd find very beneficial, again, I'll make sure to write it down and get it to you, is the IDEA website that you'll also may want to look into and possibly even bookmark on your phone, on your laptop, on your iPad, just so you have those things handy and you can always search stuff up in there. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Selena Rodriguez, and I am the RSP teacher here at your daughter's new school.